Now live on YouTube, starting us up on the Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with what do we got on November 15th? We actually start on the main source for once. If you want to start us off.
Uh, 564, the death of paganism in England. Pagan king of Penga and Mercia and his allies are defeated at the Battle of Winwide by Christian King Oswu of Bernicia, as told by Betty.
Alright. And actually, I'm going to take this one in 1315 here because I have a little bit more meat. During the growth of the Old Swiss Confederacy, the Yesteryear, I don't. I didn't know Shaft ambushed and defeated the army of Leopold I during the Battle of Morgarten. Alright. What else do we got here?
1348, Rudolph of Oran claims Jews have confessed to poisoning the well.
That sounds like BS right there.
Sounds like a witch hunt right there, yeah.
Yep. And Uno Mas.
1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Yes.
Oh, notes in his journal the first recorded reference to tobacco.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but tobacco is indigenous to the Americas, mainly Central and South. And the North, you know, the Native Americans and their peace pipes and all that stuff, so...
Yeah.
1492 as well, in La Garda, Spain, 6 Jews and 5 conversos were accused of ritual murder. Here we go again.
Oh boy.
Yep. 1527, Treaty of Schoonhoven, Henry of the Palatinate, Bishop of Utrecht, ceded lands to the Habsburgs in return for security help against resistant citizens. You know, that sounds like the classic blunder. You know, those who surrender their freedoms for security will get neither and deserve neither. And, you know, you're dealing with the Habsburgs, you know, they were like a royal family and all that stuff, and pretty sure that they did not honor that deal. Although they might have. If anybody knows a little bit more, you know, let us know in the comment section. 1532 here, during the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire, commanded by Francisco Pizarro, Spanish conquistadors under Hernando de Soto met Incan Emperor Atahualpa for the first time outside Cajamarca, arranging for a meeting in the city plaza the following day. All right. Then we got in 1533, a Spanish expedition led by Francisco Pizarro captured the Inca capital of Cusco after defeating an Inca army led by General Quizuquiz. Yep. 1620, Miles Standish led 16 men in a foot exploration in the northern portion of Cape Cod. Alright, they're trying to figure out what's out there. While that was going on, we have the first kosher butcher, specifically Asser Levy, was licensed in New Amsterdam, known today as New York City. 1679, English House of Commons accepted the Exclusion Bill. What is the Exclusion Bill, actually? Let's take a surface level scratch of this article really quick. And I'm actually going to lower the music a little bit here because I think it might be too overpowering. But let's see here. Let's look up the entire... Here we go. Exclusion Bill Parliament. It was a Parliament of England during the reign of Charles II of England, named after the long saga of the Exclusion Bill. So that was specifically Parliament. So the exclusion crisis. Why is the exclusion bill sending me to the exclusion crisis? Okay, so this is going to require some research and stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and make an underbar description section. Pardon me. Let's see here. Exclusion bill. Let me add that in. Another exclusion bill. Sneezing like a howitzer today. So let me add these links into the underbar section. They will appear post live stream as per usual. Let's move on up here. 1688. Yeah, so like if anybody can figure out the exact semantics of this exclusion bill, once again, you let us know in the comment section. 1688, Prince William of Orange's army landed at Torbay, England. The Glorious Revolution commenced. All right, whatever that is. 1715, Barrier Treaty, Austria ceded area to the Netherlands. All right. 1720, Pirates Anne Bonny, Mary Read, and Calico Jack were captured by Captain Jonathan Barnett and brought to the Spanish town of Jamaica for trial. That would happen with pirates. 7 years later, 1727, New York General Assembly permitted Jews to omit the phrase "upon the faith of a Christian" from abjuration oaths. I wholeheartedly agree with that. They should not be forced to do Christian things because they're not Christian. You know, that's kind of oppressive right there. Moving on up to 1763, Charles Mason and Jeremiah Dixon began surveying the Mason-Dixon line between Pennsylvania and Maryland. So that's actually, you know, why we have this map here, the Mason-Dixon line right there. 1777, during the American Revolutionary War, after 16 months of debate, the Continental Congress approved the Articles of Confederation. This is considered today as the first constitution of what would become the United States of America. A big deal right there. So, 1791, the first Catholic college in the U.S., Georgetown, opened. I'm wondering if it was called Georgetown or if it opened in Georgetown, because there is a Georgetown, but there's also a Georgetown College, you know, I believe. So, yeah. 1806, the first U.S. college magazine, Yale Literary Government, published the first issue. All right. And while that was going on, during the Pike expedition, Lieutenant Zebulon Pike spotted a mountain peak while near the Colorado foothills of the Rocky Mountains. This location is known today as Pike's Peak in his honor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you are?
Golden Loon.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were just talking about Pike's Peak. We already,
Oh, yeah, Colorado.
Yeah. You missed, by about 15 seconds, we were talking about the Articles of Confederation.
Ooh, can you recap for me
Yeah.
real quick?
So, yeah, I'll go back here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a rerun for everybody else.
1777, during the American Revolutionary War, after 16 months of debates, the Continental Congress approved the Articles of Confederation. This is considered today as the first constitution of what would become the United States of America.
Yeah.
Big, big, big deal right
Whoa.
there.
And that's
So,
today. Awesome.
Yep, on this
We
date.
don't know that date, really.
Yeah, no,
That's really important.
you don't think about November 15th, you know,
No.
being a major, but it is. You know, I would argue, like, it's probably even bigger. Well, I
Not
wouldn't
bigger
say it's
than
bigger than.
Constitution, but-
Well, no, I would say no, not bigger than Constitution. I was saying as a holiday, you know, as a day of you know,
Recognition.
you know,
You
recognition
recognize
or something.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows about July 4th. That's when
Right.
we declared it.
it. Yeah.
But this is the document that dictates how we handle ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
This tells us what is.
declaring independence is nice, but if you're just an anarchist republic, you're not even a republic, you know, then what are you? You know,
Yeah.
like it kind of it's
And that was
significant.
77.
Yeah.
So it was over with the Brits getting away from the Brits. Is that done, or is that
Well, no,
war still going on?
the Revolutionary War ended, I believe, in 83.
Oh, it went that
1783.
long?
Yeah, 81, 83, you
Oh,
know.
I didn't realize that.
Let me look this up, actually. When did the American Revolution end? So, yeah, 1783.
Whoa,
The Treaty of
I didn't
Paris.
realize that.
Yep. Yeah, no, it took a while.
Yeah, it did. No,
Yeah.
I know that.
It's pretty interesting because, you know, you look at a movie like The Patriot,
Yeah.
and it's a movie, you know, you'll cut through stuff and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But that went through that entire period. They were talking about becoming independent and all that stuff, and then it
Yeah.
goes through. And then near the end, you know, they have the Battle of Yorktown. That was 1781, 82, you know, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So, you know, that movie spanned about 7 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, which is interesting. You know, you think that, you know, his kids would have grown up in the movies too. You know, his kids stayed the same age. The ones that didn't get shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So that's a little bit of a, you know,
Well,
oversight.
that's film for you.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1811, Jose Miguel Carrera took control of the Chilean government in a coup d'etat, becoming the country's first president. It says here is a general and president of Chile, so I don't think he was a dictator. You know,
Doesn't sound like he's the president. Although a president can be a dictator, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like, if he was a dictator, you know, they would have, like, labeled him as one, like they've done that with others. You know, I just find it weird that, you know, you do a coup d'etat and then you're the president,
Yeah.
not the chancellor or the chairman or the this or the that, you know. 1813, we have a tax revolt in Amsterdam. That would cause it. Too high taxes, you know, so. 2 centuries ago, 1824, a series of fires killed 10 in Edinburgh, Scotland. That would otherwise get overlooked on this show, but because it's 2 centuries ago, you know,
Yeah.
we've got to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
1826, Dutch business me achieved monopoly on opium trade in Java/Madura. It's telling me to look that up, but I don't want to, because that's a whole rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Was Dutch business me? So is that the name of the business, or
I have no idea.
is this a typo? I don't know. 1827, Creek Indians lost all their property in the U.S.
Ah,
Oh man,
man.
or the Native Americans. Sorry,
Yeah.
Creek Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We have something like that happening today. So, 1835, Charles Darwin reached Tahiti on board the HMS Beagle, the location where he would formulate his ideas later written in the structure and distribution of coral reefs.
Yeah.
Not his evolution thing, but the whole coral reef stuff.
Yeah. I'm not
Which,
familiar with this coral reef stuff.
neither am I, but I do know that the Great Barrier Reef in Australia is pretty much dead. Really sad. Too much tourism, too much pollution in the water. Like it's really, really not good.
I know Hawaii's having a problem with their reefs because of all the tourists that go there.
Yeah.
And then they have sun lotion on going in the water.
Yeah, all the chemicals.
Yeah. It's really hurting it.
Yeah. Well, maybe if these lotion companies stop putting these chemicals in, to make us, hurt, But anyway, 1837, Isaac Pitman introduced his shorthand system of writing, Pitman shorthand.
I wonder if that's what they use in shorthand today.
I'm not entirely sure, but Pitman shorthand. Let's look this up here really
I
quick.
wonder if that's. I remember in high school, and mostly girls at that time took the class but you could take a class of shorthand and learn how. It's like another language.
Yeah. Well, that's
I wonder if that still exists today.
I'm not sure, because I knew that they were primarily used for transcribers in courtrooms. They had to do shorthand.
Transcriber's a different deal.
No, they
shorthand
write.
Is generally
They write in shorthand. They transcribe in shorthand, and then they later, after the fact, translate it into English.
But they're typing.
Yeah, but they're not typing every little letter of every word.
No, it's
so
all
they're
a coded thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is shorthand.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see here. Pitman shorthand is a system of shorthand for the English language developed by English Sir Isaac Pitman, who first presented it in 1837. Like most systems of shorthand, it is a phonetic system. The symbols do not represent letters, but rather sounds, and words are, for the most part, written as they are spoken. So that's weird. So, kind of like how our phonetic alphabets, the letters represent, the sound like ah, ba, ka, like that. But instead of that, it's the opposite. Our language is based off of the alphabets. This alphabet is based off the language, if I'm making any sense. But that's weird, writing down instead, because here's an example. This picture.
Yeah.
That's the sound of the words, whatever the hell these words are. But that's what they sound like apparently, and that's, if you can read this shorthand, this makes sense to you.
Well,
So-
what I was getting, I wonder if it's viable today. And when I go back to the shorthand classes, that was for women or men to go out and be a secretary and go in with the notepad, and your boss gives you verbally talks out a letter, and you take the shorthand and go back and I wonder if that still exists today.
Probably. Like take a note,
Yeah.
or whatever, yeah. 1842, a slave revolt in the Cherokee Nation commenced. Well, yes, a lot of people don't realize this, but Native Americans owned slaves too. It wasn't just the white man,
Oh,
Native
no.
Americans, black people owned slaves, Hispanics owned slaves.
Whites were slaves.
Whites were
it's
slaves.
The whole thing. Everybody.
Nobody's
Nobody's been exempt either side.
The very first slave owner in the North Americas was a black guy, believe it or not. But let's blame the white man. 1849, the first U.S. poultry show opened in Boston. So I guess selling chickens, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
1849 as well, boilers of the steamboat Louisiana exploded as she pulled back from the dock in New Orleans, causing over 150 deaths.
Ooh.
Yikes. Jeez. Well, they must have been full, and they're
Yeah.
pulling out, and boom, not good. 1854, in Egypt, the Suez Canal linking the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea was given the necessary royal concession. So they finally approved it,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, that's gotta be what that means. Yeah.
One decade later, in 1864, the first U.S. mine school opened in the basement of a Columbia University in New York. What the hell? What's a mine school?
Mime is miming.
No.
Don't talk.
No, mine.
Mine.
Like pick at,
Okay,
not
okay.
miming, but
Okay.
M-I-N-E.
Okay.
So a mine. Pretty fitting that it was in the basement, but like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told myself to look this up, but I'm not getting anything here. But like, well, I'm getting engineering stuff, so maybe it evolved into an engineering school. But yeah, but like for excavating, gold mining, and all that stuff, like that's interesting. There obviously has to be schools and stuff. Nowadays with all the legislator and
all
things.
the techniques you need to know and all that.
Yeah. 1864 as well, not 1964. That was a mistype. During the American Civil War, Union General William Tecumseh Sherman left Atlanta, beginning his march to the sea.
Uh-huh.
And it's very interesting, actually. Let's see if I can find a quick time lapse, because I've seen the time lapse Sherman's march to the sea map. Let's see if I can find something, because there's a very quick. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, this is the American Civil War. It's a 2-minute long video, so I'm not going to play the entire thing, but I'm going to try to find. Yeah, here we go. So right here, watch this. I think Sherman's march to the sea was more inland, but look at that. See, we're cutting the Confederacy in half.
Yeah.
And then we cut, and they also have a naval blockade around there. But right now we have that hanging thing. But eventually it makes it all the way to the sea, right there. So now they're bisected, and you're gonna see everything to the west just dies, and then on the east, they try to bisect too. But yeah, this is a really interesting video, and it's showing you all the casualties and everything. But yeah, let me add this actually.
That's pretty slick, actually.
Civil War time lapse. Let me add that there really quick. But yeah, like once you cut the enemy in half.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're pretty much done. Moving on up, 1869, free postal delivery formally inaugurated. Okay. I guess whatever that is.
Delivery, I guess. I don't know what free part is.
I don't either. That's 1869. So, 1870, Bath became a member of the Nordisch Union. What the hell is that? And I know the city of Bath.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Been there.
Ah, nice. Nordisch Union. Pardon me. In de competitis spelled and include. This is all in another language.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if anybody can tell me what the Nordisch Union is, let us know in the comments section. Speaking of comments, do we have any activity? Hold on. No, we do not. So, anyway, moving on up. What else do we got here? 1881, American Federation of Labor, the AFL, was founded in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, not to be confused with the American Football League, the AFL. So, 1884, the International Berlin Conference of 1884 through 1885 met, and after an adjournment concluded on February 26 in 1885, with the signature of a general act officially regulating the European colonization and trade in Africa during the new imperialism period, formalizing the scramble for Africa among European powers. So basically, get in there and grab it while,
Get what you can while you can.
Yep. 1889, Brazil was declared a republic by Marshal Deodoro da Fonseca as Emperor Pedro II was deposed in a military coup. So he deposed the emperor and then proclaimed it a republic in a military coup.
Sounds like independence to me.
Essentially, well, not really independence. More like change of ownership. They already were independent, but they were a dictatorship or something. Whatever it was, they were. But then they had a military coup, and then they became a republic.
Okay.
So that's not really an independent thing. That's an internal civil struggle.
True.
1898, British naval officer David Beatty promoted to commander after the Sudan campaign. This guy, for whatever reason, he's spoken about a lot. Probably because of the weird way he wears his little cap. No, that's his signature thing. Like that's what he's known for. His little cap thing.
Tilted.
Yeah. 1899, during the Second Boer War, the Battle of Chivali occurred, in which a British armored train was ambushed and partially derailed. The Brits lost the battle, with 80 soldiers captured, along with war correspondent Winston Churchill.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was captured. Yeah, man.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he was around for a while.
Yeah.
And the Churchill family name has actually been in British nobility and royalty. Well, not really nobility or anything, but they were in the mucky muck for a long time. So
He had to be pretty young back in 1899.
let's see, he was born in 74, so he was around 34 or something. So
99 to he's 26,
20 something.
25.
Okay. All right, I was off by a decade. That is young. You know.
Yeah.
35 is still young.
So he's in
but-
the ranks. That's why he got captured.
Yeah. 1900, Dutch soccer club NEC was established in Nijmegen. That's a weird word. 1902, the Egyptian Museum, the first national museum in the Middle East, opened to the public on its new premises on Ismailia Square, now Tahrir Square in Cairo. And that's part of our collage right here. Where is it? There you go. So that's, and it still looks more or less like that today. Like, they have more modern pictures and they still have that entrance and all that stuff. So, yeah. And I like, well, I don't like this picture, but it's very fitting. It's, that was the whole Africa thing. They're partitioning Africa like it's a cake.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah.
1904, King...
Bit arrogant.
Yeah. King C. Gillette patented the safety razor as a Gillette razor blade.
Oh, Gillette. Okay.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's a safety razor.
Oh, look at that thing.
Yeah. That's the
Wow.
first one right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see here. Proclamation in 1911 set design for Canadian $5 and $10 gold coins. So something like, you know, that's what we're gonna have and all that stuff. 1914, Italian socialist Benito Mussolini founded the newspaper Il Popolo d'Italia. Yes, and Benito Mussolini at one time was like an editor or something to do with a socialist newspaper. I think this is when he founded a newspaper.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he founded this newspaper.
Yeah.
So, 1916, Canadian pilot William George Barker, flying over Ancre River, spotted a concentration of German troops massing for a counterattack on Beaumont Hamel. He sent an emergency zone call to break up German infantry apart. Baker later received a military cross. So, you know, reconnaissance and
that was huge.
Oh, yeah. 1917, Edushkinta declared itself the supreme state power of Finland, prompting its declaration of independence and secession from Russia. So, as we've spoken about the past couple of times, Tsarist Russia did own Finland. Because remember, like a couple days ago, we had that article about Tsar Nicholas III. He had some kind of decree or something. He did something involving Finland. And then later on, you know, the Soviets, you know, were having their own winter war in conjunction, you know, during World War II with Finland.
Yeah.
They were trying to take it back, very much like how they're trying to get Ukraine back, you know, today. So, 1919, U.S. Senate first invoked the cloiture rule to end the filibuster, passed Versailles Treaty. That's pretty big. So somebody was trying to filibuster against the Treaty of Versailles. That's the end of World War I.
Wow.
You know,
I know.
Yeah, must have been a Democrat. 1920, Free City of Danzig was established, forming under the League of Nations Protection. I know, I've heard about Danzig. So,
I haven't.
yeah, it's the city of Danzig, somewhere in Germany or something, somewhere in Europe. 1920, the League of Nations held its first assembly/meeting in Geneva, Switzerland.
Oh, that's the first.
That must have been the. Yeah, I should have.
I would have thought it was older than that.
No, well, no. Like League of Nations formed after World War One.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, World War One ended in
So it
1918.
only lasted maybe 20 years, 20-some years.
Roughly.
Because 45, United Nations was formed 46.
Yeah,
So that's
45.
26 years.
Yeah, roughly. So, and the League of Nations, you know, as we know, it was the predecessor to the United Nations.
That's what, yeah.
And at one point, both of those entities existed at the same
Yeah,
time
they
for
did.
roughly a week while they were passing the buck.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder what caused the transition. Why don't we have the League of Nations today instead of?
well, you know, my conspiracy mind, it really wants to answer it.
Yeah,
all
this
that.
one?
So,
Don't go there.
yeah.
Yep, will be.
Hey,
welcome
Sir
back, King.
Hey!
I hope you got your problem solved with the phone. Like, was that them?
Yeah,
calling you back?
man, it actually worked this time.
Good.
There you go.
About damn time. Dude, this guy's been trying to work on a problem for a week.
Oh, I
Like,
hate that.
Yeah, he was
You
on
hit
hold.
nothing but- you hit nothing but a wall, you
Well,
know?
he was on hold for 3 bloody hours. You know,
Oh, you're kidding.
like during one of the times.
Sir,
Like,
you have much more patience than I do.
Oh,
I'd be
scary,
throwing my
man.
phone.
Yeah.
yeah, and plus, like, you know, he doesn't have, you know, like like, you know, the accessibility to get places,
Right,
you know, as
right,
much as
right,
like, because
right.
he's not like living in the middle of a city or whatever,
Right.
you know, so it's not like he can go physically somewhere like, okay, yeah, ignore me now,
I'm
I'm in
coming
your
down
building,
there. I'm in your grill in a half an hour.
yeah, so.
What else we got?
Moving on up, 1922, if Sir King wants to read this, actually.
1922 British general election. Conservative Party wins a majority under Andrew Bonar Law.
Well, that sounds like a hard law right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 1 century ago.
1924 Dutch Christian Radio Society NCRV 4.
All right. Well,
1926 First Formal Radio Network RCA takes over AT&T's 25 station network NBC, including flagship station WEAF in New York City.
all right, so the first formal radio network is now a network of radio stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just one show or just whatever. It's a whole contraption like thing. And
Well, what blows my mind there takes over from AT&T.
yeah.
AT&T doesn't let anything go anymore. Now they take everything.
Now to answer your question, Loon, because I heard you mumble if they're still around.
Yeah.
And dissolved. Well, they merged on January 1st, 2014, with KRO to form KRO and CRV.
So it lasted till 14.
Yeah, well, they're still around. They're not their own, but they're still around as part of something
merge
else.
Makes sense. I'm just
So,
they've been around that long before they got merged.
well, I mean, they could have been defunct too. They could have been completely gone.
Yeah.
You know, so like Toys R Us. So, moving on up to 1928, the RNLI lifeboat Mary Stanford capsized in Rye Harbor with the loss of the entire 17-man crew.
Ooh.
See, but we were talking about this yesterday, or Wednesday, or when, no, yeah, we didn't do a show yesterday, but Wednesday. You can't die on a lifeboat. It's a lifeboat.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
that's
the
not
name,
that's
you know?
not fair. So, 1932, Walt Disney Art School was created. Okay, cool. What to do? Whatever. 1933, Thailand held its first election. All right. 34, though. What do we have here?
1934 Nobel for Chemistry awarded to Harold C. Urey for deuterium.
It sounds
What's
like
that?
an element. So let's see here. Deuterium, is one of two stable isotopes of hydrogen. The other is protium, or hydrogen-1. The deuterium nucleus, deuterium, contains one proton and one neutron, whereas the Far has more common. 1H has no neutrons. So they discovered an element essentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool as well over here.
1935 Commonwealth of Philippines inaugurated.
All right. And then just below that,
1936 Nazi Germany and Japan sign anti-Comintern pact.
that sounds
What's
anti-Russia. I'm looking that up.
Yeah, it's us Russia. Yeah,
It sounds like anti-Russia. As soon as the wiki loads, here we go. The Anti-Comintern Pact, also known as the Agreement Against the Communist International. There we go.
anti-commie.
Anti-communist. Okay, so not Russia, but anti-communist. Okay, so as much as it pains for me to say
That was
it,
a pact that didn't help the world. I'll tell you that.
anti-Russia or anti-communist.
I'm looking at more Japan and Germany signing a deal there.
Well, I mean, anti-communist.
It starts solidifying them together for the World War II.
True. Well, by yeah. Japan was already doing their thing, but it would be another 3 years before Germany really
that's what I'm
goes
saying.
crazy.
Didn't do the world any good.
Yeah. Well, anything anti-communist does the world good to some degree. Doesn't matter who does it. So.
Not necessarily. Not if a fascist is doing it.
Well.
Not particularly good. That's a bad and a bad.
If we can have the fascists and communists kill each other, that's just a trash takes itself out. Okay. Let them fight each other. Leave us alone. 1938 farewell parade of international bridges in Barcelona. What?
Say that again?
Oh, brigades, not bridges. Farewell parade for international brigades in Barcelona. So I guess armies meant for, fighting outside of your border. I guess. 1938 We have the first telecast of an unscheduled event, this one being a fire. That's very unscheduled, you know. W2XBT New York. So, like, it must have been live or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we have a fire in the studio. Oh, my God. Like, that's, that's,
telecasted.
Yeah. And, yeah, I'm going to go off on a mini rant here. We have off a main source. 1938, Nazi Germany banned Jewish children from public schools in the aftermath of the Kristallnacht. Okay? Now, I want to say something, and I'm not saying anything for you to agree or disagree. I just want you to think. And what has the educational system become today? What do they do to, to whites, to straights, to conservatives, to Christians? Any difference? Aside from the usage of government and law, no. Societal stigmas are the exact same. It's the same crap, different day. Different target. 1939, though, what do we have here? Some good news.
1939, anti-German demonstrations on Czechoslovakia. In Czechoslovakia.
Yep. So yeah, get them Nazis out of here.
Didn't work.
Well, it did eventually.
Yeah, eventually, yes.
Yeah. This one's pretty cool.
1939, FDR lays cornerstone of Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Oh, we've been there. The Jefferson Memorial.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's that round one that's kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So you gotta be going there intentionally because there's nothing else there. There's no
you gotta
stores,
go see
no
it,
anything. It's its own purpose.
Well, it's not like it's in the wilderness. It's just there's nothing around. It's all grounds.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah. Well, I mean, if you go see the other
Park-like
memorial, you can walk right past it and keep going to hit some shops. Not here.
No.
Can I get up?
To the side.
Yeah. We have
but
two.
It's nice. I liked it over there.
Yeah, it is. 1939 as well. Nazis began mass murder of Warsaw Jews. Yeah, gross. 1939, the first unemployment compensation law under the Social Security Act, that of the District of Columbia, was approved for grants by the Social Security Board, and thus the destruction of society began. Well, Big Daddy government come suckle on the teat, until he decided not to milk you anymore. 1940, the first 75,000 men were called to armed forces duty during peacetime. I wonder if that's U.S. history. It's just saying this, it's not saying where.
You would assume it to be U.S. history, but you don't know.
Yeah. Well, we weren't in a war yet.
It's still peacetime.
Yeah, for us.
A year to go.
Yeah. Well, not a year to go even. It's November 15th. It's going to be like 2.5, 3 weeks.
1941.
Oh, true. You're right. Never mind. Yeah.
Moving
Moving on up here. Hold on a second. I wanted to. Yeah, selective service system. Okay, is that the draft?
I went through that as an 18-year-old.
That sounds like a draft.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the draft.
Yeah.
So the first peacetime
They
draft.
tried to draft my ass into it for the Vietnam War. The selective services they did.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, the little man from the draft board. So that is confirmed U.S. history.
Yeah.
Moving on up to 1940 as well. New York Midtown Tunnel linking Manhattan and Queens open to traffic. All right.
That's yeah.
Yeah. 1941, Cow Palace opened in San Francisco.
Ooh, Cow Palace, yeah.
Cow Palace. Never heard of Cow Palace.
No.
Cow
A lot
Palace.
of rock and roll stuff there. And they play basketball there too.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, so it's an arena. Okay. All right.
I don't think it's their arena anymore. I think it's long since been torn down.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a secondary one or something.
Looks pretty cool. It looks more like an airship hangar, to be honest. So.
Cow Palace.
I don't know how I got the name the Cow Palace because I'm not that hip on San Francisco history.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's with the cow reference?
I'm not sure. Cow Palace. I mean, that's going to require some digging. Where the livestock exposition was a popular thing. So yeah.
See, there you go. They had a
Wow.
bunch of cows there.
Maybe mainly for livestock.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1915.
Yeah, 1941. Oh, well, that's weird. It's the idea of it originated in 1915, but it opened in 1941, so that took a while.
Yeah.
As it usually
Oh, wow,
does.
yeah.
Yeah. But what else do we got here?
1941, Yugoslav government in exile names Draza Minnehaha Premier.
Yeah, because World War II, they were in exile. They had been occupied by Germany and everything. So very much like how France in exile and all these other in exile. So this next one, we have a bird here.
1942, World War II, first flight of the Heinkel He-219.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's a German aircraft, but aviators I'm not really that big into aviation history, but this is it right here, and these antennas, those are radio antennas and all that stuff. That's really wild, like how they have it.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think those are radar.
I was just gonna say it looks like.
Yeah,
radar.
I was gonna say it's gotta be radar.
Because those look exactly like before they condensed the radar into a nose cone. It was coming out and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We also have off a main source during World War II, the Battle of Guadalcanal ended in a decisive Allied victory. All right.
Yeah.
And another off of main source, and this one's really, really gross. During the Holocaust, German SS leader Heinrich Himmler ordered that gypsies were to be put, quote, on the same level as Jews and placed in concentration camps, end quote. Oh.
Yeah.
You want to look at evil, like Hitler's the big guy, but Himmler is the one who really, came up with those awful ideas. Like, Himmler...
Did he come up with them, or did he execute them?
Hitler executed them, but Himmler's the one who came up with the ideas. Hitler just wanted to basically make an Israel out in Madagascar or whatever. He wanted to send them all, so that's why I say the existence of Israel only makes Hitler win, because that's what he wanted to do to begin with. He wanted to get him out of there. He didn't want to kill him,
Too bad he didn't get that
well,
because there would have been a lot of lives
But
saved.
then, like the idea of a freeway, the Autobahn, the world's first freeway, I believe, was Hitler's idea. The Volkswagen, the people's car, was Hitler's idea based off of Henry Ford and the assembly line and all that stuff. Hitler idolized Henry Ford, as well as, Benito Mussolini. But let's move on up. What else do we got here in 45?
Chilean poet Gabriel Mistral becomes the first Latin American to be awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature.
All right. Pretty cool. 45 as well. Rules were revised for the election of modern players to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I wonder what the rules are, Speaking of that, 46, Ted Williams was picked as American League MVP. And I'm thinking about no longer putting in the MVP winners and all that stuff, because that's just whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
47, Bradman scored his 100th 172 versus Indians at the SCG.
Don't know what that is.
Well, let me play a sound.
Oh.
Now you know what it was.
Cricket.
Yeah, he's a cricket legend, Bradman. So, 47, soccer team GVVV formed in Wien and Nadal. Wow, I haven't heard that many V's since we saw V for Vendetta. Like,
It was vicious.
yeah, but vindicative. What do we got
Variance.
here? 1948, Mackenzie King retired after 21 years and 154 days as Prime Minister of Canada, succeeded by Louis St. Laurent, whom was sworn in as the 12th, Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah.
21 years, that's a long stint to be a leader of a nation. That's
long.
way,
Yeah.
1949, what do we have here?
Cron TV Channel 4 in San Francisco, California, NBC begins broadcasting call letters, a nod to the owner's other business, the San Francisco Chronicler newspaper.
Yeah, so the San Francisco Chronicle, KRON, Cron, Nicole. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Little tongue-in-cheek there thing. If I'm using I don't think I'm using the correct terminology, but if anybody listens to this, that's a cute little tidbit of information. And this one's pretty cool. I wish Alice was here to read this, but what do we got in 1950?
Arthur Dorrington, first black man in organized hockey, is signed by Atlantic City Seagulls and Eastern Amateur Hockey League.
All right, so segregation is falling down in hockey too. You think of segregation in sports, you think of baseball. Like really.
So the question is
that segregation, or is that just
or is it the lack of black talent coming up?
preference?
They generally aren't playing hockey.
True.
So finally, someone got to the talent level of going in. Could be either way.
Yeah, no, you think of black athletes, you don't think of hockey as the first sport you think of. You think
No.
of basketball, baseball,
Football.
football,
yeah,
like,
soccer.
I mean, it's not like...
Not a lot of brothers on the ice.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if it was segregation or not. Could have been.
Well, look at the year, 50,
Yeah.
so... off of main source here, 1951, Nikos Beloyanis, along with 11 comrades, were sentenced to death for attempting to reestablish the Communist Party of Greece. Good.
Well, comrade, hate
Yeah.
to see you go.
Hate to see you go. What?
What? Mm-hmm.
Oh. Anyway, 1954, the first...
Phrasing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It said phrasing.
Yeah. What do we got here?
First regular scheduled commercial flights over North Pole began as SAS, Scandinavian Airlines, inaugurates DC 68 service between Los Angeles, California, Copenhagen, Denmark, via Greenland, and Winnipeg, Manitoba. Manitoba.
Yeah.
So in '54 they started going over the pole.
Yeah. You've
Nice.
been over that one, like to get
Yeah.
to England. So
Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of cool.
yeah. 1955, off of main source, the first part of the St. Petersburg Metro was opened. All right. 56, Love Me Tender, film with Elvis Presley in his acting debut, premiered in the U.S. All right.
Love me tender.
1959, Richard Dick Hickok and Perry Smith murdered 4 members of the Clutter family at their farm outside Holcomb, Kansas, subject of Truman Capote book In Cold Blood.
I was going to ask if that was after that
Cutter
movie.
family.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
remember
movie
that.
is... Oh, jeez.
Now-
Have you ever seen that movie In Cold Blood?
I have not.
Oh, you got to see it.
I just gotta say though,
Stunning.
it's a really unfortunate name because then awful people like myself can make jokes like he's just cleaning up the clutter. But yeah, that's bad joke.
Yeah.
But yeah. 1960, what do we got here?
Hey.
Elgin Bayer of NBA LA Lakers scores 71 points versus New York Knicks.
One
Now-
game. That's a lot of points.
Oh, yeah. Now, I got to say...
That's ridiculous.
Elgin Baylor, one of the all-time great forwards.
Yeah.
He played, and he came to LA from Minnesota, don't you know, with Jerry West. They two great.
Well, yeah, because that's where the Lakers originated.
I know, but I mean, he came to LA in the '60s.
Yeah.
I think that was their first season here,
Hmm.
and those two teamed up for one of the greatest 1-2 punches in NBA history. Elgin Baylor and Jerry West.
Kind of like the alpha version of.
And see, when that's the one Benny from being old.
Yeah.
I got to see that.
That's why I bring you on the show. Because like this is
everybody talks about what's his name?
Jordan,
Shaq.
No, not Shaq. What's his name?
Kareem
from the
Abdul-Jabbar?
Chicago- No, from
LeBron.
No, from the Chicago
Michael Jordan.
Bulls. Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Jordan.
the hang time and all. He is the first hang timer.
Oh.
He's the guy that started all that stuff. He
Nice.
could hang in the air forever. He's
Let's,
a great one.
let's stop talking about hanging. So 1960. What else do we got here? This is pretty cool.
USSG Washington first sub with nuclear ballistic missiles launched.
Ooh. The sub was launched, not the missiles. Let's gotta make
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 1961.
This should- yeah.
Here, go ahead.
Is bad choice of words there in the article.
Yeah. yeah, launch. Yeah, it's the way it's wrote. They launched the missiles. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
First voyage.
Yeah.
There, I
Yeah.
fixed it.
What else? do we got?
1961 Comet C 1961 T1 Techie approaches within 0.1019 AUS of Earth.
AU is an
that close?
astronomical unit.
Is that
An
far?
astronomical unit is the
Far?
distance
Yeah.
between the sun and the Earth. So it approached within 10% of the distance between the sun and the Earth, essentially. So whatever that is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up. AU's to miles.
Interesting.
Let's see if I can convert astronomical unit to mile. Okay, here we go. From, okay, that. Okay, so let's see here. We have 9,472,196 miles. That's pretty far, but still, like, and that should really tell you how far away the sun is.
No.
What?
Is it?
9 million?
I don't know.
I just did the conversion.
I like in compare. It's it's far. You say it's far away. Like in comparison to what?
Well, to us,
Yeah.
9 million miles. I mean, the Earth
Is
is
that
only
far?
like just under 25,000 in total circumference. So,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about space though. Like
Well, space. Yeah.
Space.
Is-
That's pretty damn close.
is that far?
Well, 10% of anything is pretty
Is it
close.
close?
Yeah,
So
exactly right.
yeah. So, it's all in
I
perspective.
don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, perspective.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now what else do we got here?
The UN bans nuclear arms. You can't hug your children with nuclear arms.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was
I
waiting.
knew. I stole it. I stole the joke. I saw you going for it. I'm like, nope.
You bastard! 1963, Valium, created by chemist Leo Sternbach at Roche, approved by U.S. Food and Drug Administration. I don't know why they have this backwards. It's the FDA, not DFA. This became the most prescribed drug in the world between 1969 through 1984. Wow. And isn't Valium, like, awful? Like, it's addictive or something? Like,
Very,
yeah.
very.
1964, Mickey Wright shot a 62, the lowest golf score for a female professional at the Tall City Open in Midland, Texas. I wonder if that record still stands. That's pretty low. 65, and I have more meat here. Craig Breedlove set a land speed record of 66.601 miles per hour. Actually, wait, no. 600. Something weird. Oh, it was supposed to be 600.601. So 600.601 miles per hour, which equates to 966.574 kilometers per hour, in his car, the Spirit of America, at the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. And we have right here in the thumbnail, that's his car right there. It looks like a plane. No, that's a ground-based vehicle. Can you imagine going 600 miles per hour on the ground?
That sounds like the Bonneville Salt Flats
It
to me.
is. Land speed record, 600.6 miles per hour in that jet car. So,
Boy, when you go through that area, it's nothing but flat white.
yep. I think that's where they filmed when what's his face, the blind
Andy-
pianist guy,
Blind pianist?
Georgia.
Oh.
What's his face?
Yeah.
Uh,
okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Richie something. No.
Oh man.
He was. Why can't I remember him? Hold on a second.
Why would they film him out in Bonneville Salt Flats?
Well, he was driving a car for some auto commercial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen that.
Black singer. What's his name? Oh God. Is 6 blind African American people. That's not helping me. What's his name? This dude.
There we go.
What's his name?
No, that's not it.
No, it is this guy. That guy.
Ray
There he is,
Charles.
right here. Is who I'm thinking of.
It's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
Ray Charles.
He's just
No.
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. Thank you.
Oh wait,
That's not Ray Charles.
oh.
Oh wait, that Ray Charles. That's the other. Yeah.
Why can't
That's Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder. I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay, so we have Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder.
Ray
so-
Charles
so-
and Stevie Wonder. I always get the confused.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on up to 1966, during Project Gemini, Gemini 12th, with Lovell and Aldrin, completed the program's final mission, returning to Earth, splashing down safely in the Atlantic Ocean. All right. 67, what else do we got here? This one's
1967, the only fatality in the X-15 program occurs during the 191st flight when Air Force test pilot Michael J. Adams loses control of his aircraft descending from 81 kilometers, causing its mid-air destruction over the Mojave Desert.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah.
And we have a baseball one here, and I wonder if the Loon knows about this.
1968 first date in controversial Jim Bouton baseball diary, Ball 4.
You remember this?
No, sounds like a book.
Oh, it is. It's a diary. It's a book.
Yeah. No,
Apparently it's controversial. So, 1968, off of main source here, the Cleveland Transit System became the first transit system in the Western Hemisphere to provide direct rapid transit service from a city's downtown to its major airports. Wow, that's pretty cool. You know, and that reminds me of how LA just kind of has a little noodle that goes to LAX.
Yeah.
You know, the county.
Yeah.
Or LA City proper, the borders.
Yeah. The city goes out to the airport.
Yep. And then we got quite a few 69s here. Holy crap. So, start us off.
1969, first Jackson 5 record to enter the top 100, I Want You Back.
All right. Jackson 5.
Yeah, what was the name of the record again?
I Want You Back.
Oh, okay.
69 as well, an estimated 2 million people took part in the Vietnam War moratorium demonstration across the United States. All right.
Yeah.
69 as well, Janis Joplin was accused of vulgar and indecent language in Tampa, Florida.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Queen of rock and roll.
Nice.
We also have the first ever color television commercial in the UK for Bird's Eye Peas, aired on ATV in the Midlands during a Thunderbirds episode.
Ah.
All right. Then we have Wendy's Hamburgers, a United States fast food restaurant chain, was founded by Dave Thomas and opened in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And, you know, I will never go to a Wendy's because, like...
You don't like the square burger?
Well, I mean, I'm fine with square burgers. Now, here's the thing. You know, because, you know, the frozen burgers we get, you know, the Newcastle ones, they're square, but you know what else is square? The bun.
The bun. Yeah.
I'm getting a 1-to-1 meat to bun ratio. I don't want to bite into a corner and just get a whole blast full of meat. Either around your buns, or, either around your patties or square your buns, Wendy's. Make a decision, you know? But until you do, I don't want any part of your product.
Oh, man.
And then one more, 1969. During the Cold War, the Soviet submarine K-19 collided with the U.S. submarine USS Gato in the Barents Sea. I've heard about the K-19. That's not good, you know, but like submarine, you can't hear each other. You know, boom. Oh, there's a guy.
Dropped down just a skosh, you know.
Yeah. But see, this insinuates because it collided with the U.S. submarine. That means that the U.S. knew it was there, but the Russians didn't know we were there. You know, which would make sense. But then again, why wouldn't we get out of the way?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Takes two to screw up.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on up to 1970. What do we have here?
Paul Brown, as head coach of the expansion Cincinnati Bengals, defeats his former team of Cleveland Browns. A moment he calls his greatest victory.
All right, what a traitor. He defeats his own old team.
Yeah.
You know? So. 71, Intel released and advertised the world's first commercial single-chip microprocessor, the 4004. And that's this bad boy right there.
Ah.
Now, I've seen a video. Let's see if I can find it really quick. But, like, you know, nanotech and all that stuff, it is crazy. Zooming in on a microchip. This is absolutely astonishing. They zoom in, and they zoom in, and they zoom in. And just when you think that they've zoomed in, they zoom in more. So let me bigger this. Just watch this. You know, they're zooming in on a microchip. But just watch. You know, so 0.06 millimeters. They're zooming in, zooming in, zooming. Look at that.
Oh my God.
What you thought was a solid color, no, it's not done yet. We're not even halfway through this video.
Wow.
Like, look at it. This is. There's more.
Unbelievable.
And they're just manufacturing this by the thousands a day. You know?
Yeah.
But look, there's more.
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
There's more. And even more.
Look at that.
Good God. That is incredible. Like, that's
Yeah.
beyond my understanding. So, what do we got here in 1972?
Small astronomy satellite Explorer 48 launches to study gamma rays.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
study where the Hulk came from.
Yeah. And then we have 73, Egypt and Israel exchange prisoners of war. All right. 74, International Energy Agency formed in Paris with OECD framework in the wake of the 1973 oil crisis. Well, yeah. 74, Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, single released by Ed
Yeah.
Bruce. That's a title.
There you go.
Yeah. 76, Rene Levinsky and the Parti Québécois took power to become the first Quebec government of the 20th century, clearly in favor of independence. All right, yeah, that's right. Quebec wanted to secede from Canada, become their own thing.
Yeah, they always want to do that.
Stupid French. 1977, U.S. President Jimmy Carter welcomed Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. It's telling me, ask Loon if that was when we housed him, because I remember he was going around the whole world.
Yeah,
Nobody
no one
wanted
wanted
him.
him.
So is
Yeah,
that,
it says in the same time frame. I don't know if he came, how much further after that he
Yeah.
came, but
So-
he was accepted here.
yeah, of course he was. Because, the United States, the world's doormat, come and step on us and we won't
Well,
complain.
Carter was the one that pushed him to ease up on his human rights there, and that was his downfall. Because he kind of ruled with an iron fist,
Yeah.
and he eased up, and his enemies took advantage of it.
Yeah, well, maybe he shouldn't have been an iron fist.
No, I agree with that.
1978, a chartered Icelandic Airlines Douglas DC-8 crashed near Colombia, Sri Lanka, killing 183. Yikes. And we have 1979, a package from the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski began smoking in the cargo hold of a flight from Chicago to Washington, forcing the plane to make an emergency landing. Well, yes.
Usually,
Yeah.
this guy.
Yep. This guy.
Yeah.
79 as well. Actually, we have 3 more 79s if you want to wrap up the 70s here. ABC, where is it? This one here.
1979, ABC TV announces it would broadcast nightly specials on Iran hostage
Crisis. So,
crisis.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And perfect. Just these two here. So, if you want.
Iran cancels all contracts with the U.S. oil companies.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
1979, Sir Anthony Blunt, art advisor to the Queen, is exposed in Parliament as the 4th man in the Soviet spy ring.
Ooh.
He is in stripped his knighthood and fellow of Trinity College at Cambridge.
Good. Well, that's not enough. He needs to be stripped of everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like,
know?
there seems like there would be more than that. Like,
Yeah.
Jones?
He basically just became a common citizen. No, he should be imprisoned. He should be, removed from this earth. Communism is not good. 1980, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, a roller coaster, opened at Disney World in Florida.
Big Thunder.
Yeah. 1980, Pope John Paul II began a 5-day visit to West Germany. That was, while they were still splitting everything.
Yeah.
And actually, the new friend I met through Alice the other day, he's Polish descended. He's very Polish pride and all that stuff.
Okay, good
And we were
for him.
talking about, the Pope and all that stuff. So I wonder if he's watching this. Shout out to the other guy who shares my name. Although I think he's older than me, so I kind of have his name. So, yeah.
A name shared.
Yeah. But yeah, some Polish history for you right there. In 1982, the funeral service was held in Moscow's Red Square for Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev.
How can I negotiate with them if they keep dying?
Yeah, he was the first one. So, yeah, they went through like 3 people, and then
Real quick, yeah.
then they landed eventually on Gorbachev.
Yeah.
So, which, by the way, after this video, of course, go watch the 2024 Reagan movie. It's really good.
Yeah.
Another
Absolutely.
Alice article here. We have 1983 75th hat trick in NHL New York Islander franchise history, scored by Mike Bossy. All right. What else do we got here? Actually, I have more meat here, so I'm going to take this one. 83, Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus proclaimed, declaring independence, with it only being recognized in Turkey. So only Turkey recognized Northern Cyprus being independent. But what do we got here in 84?
1984, Gilbert Rodriguez Julia is captured in Spain while meeting to expand Cali cartel business in Europe, but is later acquitted and returned to Colombia.
That's so stupid. You know, like, the legal system, all it does is give outs for actual criminals. Like, you can pay off people if you can play the system right, you can get away with murder. Awful. So, what else do we have?
1985, a research assistant is injured when a package from the Unabomber addressed to University of Michigan professor explodes.
Let's just thank God that the Unabomber was not an expert, in making bombs. They keep getting detected.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, somebody got injured this time, but, at least nobody got killed.
That was a whole fear thing going on.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Unabomber.
Oh, no, dude. Yeah, totally. I remember.
And, hold on, let me restart the music here. There we go. Alright. I'm not sure if you're into this group, but I've heard of them, thanks to Futurama.
1986, Beastie Boys released their debut album, Licensed to Ill, the first #1 rap album on the Billboard charts, and one of my favorite bands.
I find it kind of funny, because everybody knows who Eminem is, a white rapper, and you think of rap, you think of, black culture, you think of, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I find it kind of funny, that, like, a construct of black culture, which is rap, and they're talking about systemic racism and all this stuff, which was a thing back in these days and everything, but Eminem, a white rapper, and Beastie Boys, a white rap group, they're the first ones to get notarized for it, really. To get awards. I find that a little, not fair. Like,
Yeah.
Why are a bunch of white people getting the #1 rap, the first #1 rap out? Give it to NWA. Come on.
No, I don't think it's given to them as much as it's earned.
Well,
and then recognized.
that's what I'm saying. It's
So,
not
I mean,
recognized.
I don't know anything about any of them.
So-
I don't know what you're
Way
talking
past
about.
my
But
time.
Beastie Boys are
Anyway,
there.
1988. What else do we got here? Let me move on up. What are we trying to find it? Here it is.
1988, 91 million radio telescope dish at Green Bay UV collapses.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Ah, duh.
91 meter. So, however wide it was, or maybe tall, I don't know, but it collapsed. Virginia. 91 meter. And then we have 88. Actually, I have more meat on here. 1988, Soviet Union, the Union for Soviet Socialist Republics, Space Shuttle Buran made an unmanned maiden flight, 2 orbits, the only flight of this craft. So a lot of people don't realize that the Soviet Space Shuttle, they had their own space shuttle program. It didn't really take off, so to speak, other than this one time. But this is the image we used in the thumbnail. But let me bigger it here. But look at that.
That's the Soviets?
That's the Soviets.
Okay.
Looks very much like our own,
Yeah.
but you can tell that booster, it's orange. That's not us.
Yeah.
So that big tank is orange for NASA.
Pink.
So what else do we got here in 88?
1988, the first fair trade label, Max Havre, is launched in the Netherlands.
All right. What's fair trade label? That's
Yeah.
88 as well. During the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, an independent state of Palestine was proclaimed by the Palestinian National Council, but Palestine was already there. Palestine has been there for millennia. I want King to read this because he's the comic guy.
1989 Batman film is released on videotape.
That's the
Man,
movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
The Batman.
Well, of course, the film. So, yeah. 89 as well. Walter Davis of Denver began NBA free throw streak of 53 games. That's pretty good. We're gonna see an even better one here later on. But first, we have 1990. Space Shuttle Atlantis on its 68th manned space mission of STS-38 or Atlantis 7 was launched into orbit for a classified mission for the Department of Defense. That's a little sketchy there. 1990 as well, U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush signed Clear Air Act of 1990. What is the Clear Air Act of 1990?
Got to be something like clean air.
Sounds environmentalism crap. Yeah. So, Clean Air Act. United States primary federal air quality law intended to reduce and control air pollution nationwide. Initially enacted in 1963 and amended many times since, it is one of the United States' first and most influential modern environmental laws. So.
Didn't you say clear though?
Clear Air Act, yes.
Because that's a Clean Air Act.
Clean Air, Clear Air. I looked up Clear Air Act of 1990, and I got the Clean Air Act. So, you know.
Maybe one's a typo over there.
I'm not sure, but we do have a comment. It looks like over in Rumble. No, not in Rumble. In YouTube. Let's see here. Toxic masculinity. Doing all right. How are you, man? Let's see here. Moving on up, we have an off-of-page source, 1990 as well. The Communist People's Republic of Bulgaria was disestablished and a new Republican government was instituted.
Hoorah.
Let's give them a cheer for that. You know? What else do we got here? 1991. You want to take this, good sir?
Ricky Pierce, Seattle begins NBA free throw streak of 75 games.
Ooh.
All right, yeah. Pretty interesting on the same day, just a few years later, and he has even more games.
Yeah.
So. And let's see here. 13 Cuban refugees here. What do we got in 93?
1993, 13 Cuban refugees land in Florida after stealing a crop duster in Cuba.
Hey, that's
They
one
flew
way.
over.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, you don't see that very often.
I know. That kind of reminds me, I said this before, but like I'm not sure if you remember, or if even King remembers me telling the story, but there's one instance, and I don't remember, I know Germany was the bad guys in the story. Now, I don't know who was the prisoner of war, but somebody was in some POW camp or whatever. I think it was like out in Africa or whatever. And like the colonel in charge of like the whole area, he was making an inspection visit or something, whatever. I don't know the exact semantics.
Yeah.
But he came in on an airplane, and his POW was a pilot. He freaking took the airplane and flew. Like out of Hollywood. You know, like story. You know, truth is stranger than fiction. It's crazy. Yeah. So. But moving on up to 1994, and I have a more meaty article here. So we have a magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit the central Philippine island of Mindoro, killing 78 people, injuring an additional 430, and triggering a tsunami up to 8.5 meters or 28 feet high. Jeez. Surf's up, dude. You know? Yikes. But what do we got here?
1994, German Bundestag officially elects Helmut Kohl as chancellor by a single vote.
A single
131
vote?
and 340.
Yeah.
Or 341, 340.
A single vote, it's very rare, but there are minor, you know, like the very small occurrences, you know, of single votes, like a small number at least.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta be a small
number. Yeah.
But that's a major election, you know, chancellor.
Yeah. You know, that's why I say, like, you know, despite me believing that the voting system is a giant piss in the face lie, I still vote because I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, at least I'm doing something. You know. It takes nothing to go out there and just cast a vote. Just do it, you know, just do it. Anyway, 1999. What else do we got? Last 90.
1999. Next transit on Mercury visible in North America.
So I believe that they have not revised that article because like it seems like it's a future thing. Because remember, we've spoken about, you know, about this source itself. And this source itself is a good 30, 40 some odd years old. So this was probably telling us in the future sense that's when the next transit was going to be visible. Because you know how it said a couple weeks ago, 2048, the next transit of Earth is viewed from Mars. You know?
Okay.
So, moving on up into the year 2000. Jharkhand officially became the 28th state of India, formed from 18 districts of southern Bihar. All right. 2001, Microsoft released the first Xbox game console in the U.S. All right, so Xbox in North.
Yeah.
2004, Maria Sharapova became the first Russian to win the tennis season-ending WTA Tour Championship, defeating U.S. Serena Williams 4-6, 6-2, 6-4 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Wow, so Russia came over here and defeated us.
Sharapova.
The Gaul.
By the way, you nailed her name. Good going.
Sharapova?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. 2005, Boeing formally launched the stretched Boeing 747-8 variant with orders from Cargolux and Nippon Cargo Airlines. All right.
It's a stretch version, huh?
Yeah. 2006, Al Jazeera English launched worldwide.
Oh,
And
Al Jazeera, yeah.
Yep, and I didn't put that in there because I support Al Jazeera. I put that in there because I do not support Al Jazeera, and this is when they're expanding their propaganda to the English language.
I don't think they're on the air anymore here.
I hope not. 2007.
They were for a while.
Yeah, well, I followed them for a while and then started realizing, oh, this is all crap. So
Well, it's always good to hear another side.
it is, but when the other side is just crap,
Well, yeah.
then I know what not to listen to. 2007, a devastating cyclone named Sidir hit Bangladesh, killing an estimated 5,000 people and destroying parts of the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest.
Oh,
Yeah. 2011, Istana Negara, the new palace of the monarch of Malaysia with its 22 domes, was inaugurated in Kuala Lumpur, replacing the old palace. Kuala Lumpur is a very big name in my brain. So, but Istana Negara, let's look at this.
22 domes, huh?
22 domes. It's a lot. Oh, I see. So they just, wow, dude. It looks like a Russian nesting doll of domes. Look at all those domes, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if I've said the word domes enough to compensate for the 22 domes. Oh, wow, look at all that. Domes everywhere.
Wow. That's quite the spread.
Yeah. Moving on up to 2012, Deep Horizon oil spill, BP settled for $4.5 billion.
Deep Horizon.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I do not think I have, but, and it's funny, like,
Not a great movie, but it's good.
It's funny, the whole, Deepwater Horizon thing and all that stuff. And then recently, BP, on Twitter was talking about, oh, blah, blah, reduce your pollution. You're one to talk.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Are you kidding me?
2012 as well, Xi Jinping, also known as Winnie the Pooh, became General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, and a new 7-member Politburo Standing Committee was inaugurated. Oh, bother. So...
What year was that again?
2012.
Okay.
So it's kind of fitting how our leftist source does not disclose that. This is an off a main source article here. Of course, the left really loves the Chinese and what they're doing. 2013, Sony launched and released the PlayStation 4, PS4 video game console, selling 1 million units on its first day. Jeez, man.
That's a heck of a way to start.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2014 as well, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake struck under the Molucca Sea in eastern Indonesia, triggering a tsunami warning. I'm wondering if there was a tsunami.
7.7?
7.3. Still, not far.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the warning, but did they get a tsunami out of it?
That's what I wonder.
Yeah.
So that's a question for our viewers and all that stuff. Masculinity is on Rumble and YouTube, I think. Wait, who's on Rumble? Is anybody? Nobody left Rumble. Oh, yes, we know he's not. RMG's on Rumble, though. Hello, how you doing, Killer J? Moving on up to 2014, the parents of 43 Mexican students who disappeared started a nationwide bus tour in protest at the government's handling of the case. Yeah. Kids just gone. Where'd they go? We also have world leaders gathering in Brisbane for the G20 summit, which will focus on economic growth. Yeah, elitist crap and all that stuff. 2015, France launched airstrikes on ISIS stronghold Raqqa in Syria in wake of terror attack on Paris. All right. 2016, Hong Kong's High Court banned elected politicians Yao Wei-ching and Baguio Liu from the city's parliaments. You can't ban elected officials.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Beginning of the end of Hong Kong.
Yep. Moving on up to 2017, 3 UCLA basketball players suspended after admitting shoplifting in China, only released at President Trump's request. And they better be kissing his feet every day.
You're not kidding.
You
How
know?
stupid are these kids and their kids?
Yeah.
Go to China, anywhere, and shoplift.
Go shoplift anywhere. You know,
But I
let
mean,
alone
you're
going
a
abroad.
guest in a foreign country, let alone China.
Yeah, idiots. 2017, Argentine submarine San Juan went missing in the Atlantic after reporting mechanical failure. Uh-oh. I don't think that ended well, but yeah. We also have Australian postal vote on same-sex marriage resulted with a 61% vote for yes. All right, let them be miserable. Do it. You know, if they wanna, you know, tie down with one person and just, you know, like be miserable with the rest of their life, do it. Go for it. I'm not opposed to it. Straight shouldn't be the only ones miserable. So yeah. 2017, Isabel dos Santos, Africa's richest woman, was fired as the head of Angola state oil company Sonangol. Huh.
What's that to do with oil?
Her
money has something to do with oil, huh?
Yeah, well, she was the richest woman in Africa.
Yeah.
2017, Leonardo da Vinci's painting Salvador Mundi sold for $450.3 million at auction in New York, with world record price for any artwork. And this is how I say, you know, how the elites, you know, this is money laundering, and this is how they don't pay taxes. They write this off, some kind of charity thing, and then they're on their way and leave us with the bill. 2017, Pakistan unveiled remains of a 1,700-year-old sleeping Buddha in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Okay. And then we have the Zimbabwean army detained Robert Mugabe and the first family. Mugabe, not
Musabe.
Robert Musabe. It's Musabe.
Yeah, Musabe.
Musabe?
Yeah, Musabe.
I don't even remember anymore. Then they appointed sacked Vice President Emerson Mnangagwa as interim president. So, Mugabe was not liked.
Definitely not.
Yeah. 2018, Robert Mugabe. It doesn't have a link to his name here, so move on up. 2018, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani confirmed more than 28,000 of the country's military and police had been killed since 2015. So in 3 years. So internal struggles, conflicts, all sorts of things happening in Africa. And we also have Africa's fastest train between Casablanca and Tangier in Morocco at 320 kilometers long, or 198 miles, inaugurated by King Mohammed VI and French President Emmanuel Macron. Kind of funny how they don't have a picture for the African king, but of course they have for the French leader. You know, the guy who burnt the Notre Dame. So
I don't think he burned it down.
Oh, well, he ordered it.
Oh.
Well, he was set because first off, okay, the whole yellow vest thing and all the protests. He exiled himself to another country. He was so fearful of his personal safety and well-being in France that he went to Switzerland or whatever. He was hiding from the people that he was ruling over. And on the very day that he was coming in and do a whole, speech about the yellow vests, the Notre Dame caught fire. What a coincidence! Gee! I wonder what the true thing happened. Anyway, 2018, art experts in England authenticated 2 bronzes of men riding panthers at Michelangelo's only surviving bronze works. Ooh, let's see if I can find a picture of this. Let's see here. Images. Oh, you're right here. Yeah, so this is his only surviving bronzes. Michelangelo. So, men riding panthers. That's strange.
It is strange.
Yeah. Last time I saw a guy riding a big cat was from Harold and Kumar going to White Castle. 2018, David Hockney's Portrait of an Artist, pool with 2 figures, sold for $90.3 million in New York, record for a living artist. And 2019, one of the greatest films, of the year, I'd say of the past decade, Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, was the first R-rated film to earn $1 billion worldwide.
$1 billion.
Yeah. And the sequel imploded faster than that Titanic submarine.
That was an incredible movie.
Yeah. But Joker, Fleur de Lis, or whatever the hell it's called.
Joker too,
No, it is awful. It's a musical, and they had Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn, and it was just such a pile of trash. They should have just never made it. 2019, Iran shut down its internet for 5 days to suppress news of national protests against higher gas prices, beginning of the worst unrest for 40 years in that country. So, yeah, don't suppress, 2019 as well, Pakistan became the first country to introduce a vaccine against typhoid, targeting 10 million children. Jeez. Moving on up to 2020, British Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton clinched his 4th straight and record equaling 7th F1 World Drivers' Championship by winning the Turkish Grand Prix at Intercity Istanbul Park in Tuzla. Cool. So that was his 4th straight thing, and he got 7 in total, and that equates to the record for how many people have in that thing.
Yeah.
So we also have SpaceX Falcon 9 launched first regular flight to International Space Station with 4 astronauts, 3 from NASA and 1 Japanese. That's pretty cool. 2020 as well, treaty establishing world's largest trade bloc between 15 Asian Pacific countries was signed at virtual ASEAN meeting. So during the height of the pandemic and everything, everybody was doing a Zoom meeting or something, so they signed it virtually. That's a trade bloc. That's big.
Yeah.
Then we also have U.S. President Donald Trump tweeted Biden won the election, or won because the election was rigged. And, to enforce my points, our source decided to say, while still refusing to concede the election, he never refused to concede the election, correct? He never refused to step down.
He never conceded. Is that what you're saying?
That's what they're saying.
He never conceded the election, yes. He never did to this day.
Oh, okay. So
that doesn't mean he didn't.
Yeah.
He had to step down.
He stepped down.
Yeah, of course he had to, but he didn't officially concede. Like Kamala Harris conceded the election to Trump.
Bar graph meme. I'm trying to find this specific thing because we've spoken about this before and such. But like there's I can't find it, but there's a bar graph showing the results of the election, from 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024. And then it's like, so let's say that this is the Democrats and this is the Republicans. So like 2012 it was like this, 2016 it was like this, 2020 it was like this, and then 2024 it was like this.
Now that's the
Gee,
number of votes.
I wonder what happened.
That's the number of votes.
I wonder what happened.
And it was the only year that had that many votes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very odd.
Very obvious. 2020 as well, world record price for a Belgian racing pigeon called New Kim sold for 1.6 million euros, or 1.4 million pounds at auction. What that equates to in dollars, I don't know. But we gotta keep on going here. 2021, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon! Signed a once-in-a-generation $1,000 million trillion infrastructure bill into law, thus intentionally destroying the national and global economies. So, yep. 2022, Brooklyn Public Library celebrated its 125th anniversary and announced Mari Sendek's 1963 title, Where the Wild Things Are, was its most borrowed book. That's a good book. Where the Wild Things Are? I love that. Hold on a second. Let me search for this for you. Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, this one.
Very popular book. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you should know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a copy somewhere. 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump announced he was running for president in 2024. Despite many candidates he promoted failing to win an election or in U.S. midterms, everything switched when the polls opened in 2024. So, because right here, it's our source is trying to be snarky. He was running for president, despite many candidates he promoted failing to win election in U.S. midterms.
Yeah.
So I changed the comma to a period and changed their entire sentence around. Everything switched, in 2024. So up yours, leftist source. 2022 as well, world's population reached 8 billion, just 11 years after passing 7 billion, though now slowing down. It is estimated 9 billion will happen in 2037, according to the UN. Now, I thought 8 billion day was in September. I thought we hit it in September last year, a couple years ago. So, 2023, attempting to firm up their country's relations Brandon and Chinese President Xi Winnie the Pooh Jinping held bilateral talks at the Fioli Historic House and Garden in Woodside, California. Now, was that when they cleaned up San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay, it was.
Yeah.
So that just, right in your face proves that they have the capabilities to honor their promises. But if politicians actually do what they say, then they won't have a platform to get reelected. So they have to keep the problems perpetuate. Stupid. And in 2023 as well, UN Secretary Council approved resolution calling for, quote, urgent and extended humanitarian pauses and corridors throughout the Gaza Strip, end quote, 12-0, with US, UK, and Russia abstaining. So Israel, stop it. 2023, UK Supreme Court ruled conservative government policy to send foreign invaders to Rwanda is unlawful and open to human rights breaches. And I call them foreign invaders. They call them asylum seekers, but I call them as they actually are. So, yeah, stupid British law. Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including one not limited to all things Omni Coalition. A lot of history happens and continues to happen on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a part of it. Please check our sources. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central Eastern, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, gaming, videos and memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between. On Talk Show, check our underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And we had King in here for a little bit. And of course, you are you until you catch us next time, which we will be having a new show later today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! In here.